So I don't know who needs to hear this today, but I wanted to point out the obvious. We can't buy time, okay? So my reason for sharing this live, for whoever needs to hear it, and I'm sure you're going to find it if you need to hear it, and I'm going to try not to fall in the mud because I'm walking my dog and she's black. Well, she's actually white, but she's covered in mud. Is to say, right now, I'm obviously out in nature, right? Having a walk. And obviously, I'm not getting paid anything, right? But when it comes down to this whole money thing and how we spend our time, one thing I want to share, which might help a few people out, is for you to maybe think about what it is that you're doing with your time. Is what you're doing a good way to spend your time? So, you know, perhaps you have a really successful business, or perhaps you have a fulfilling job, but if you're neglecting all the other areas of your life, your relationships, your friendships, your social life, the things you enjoy, your hobbies, getting out into nature, eating nice food, having a nap, drinking a coffee, experiencing life, right? If you're neglecting all of those things, but you've got all this money coming in, right? I just want you to reflect on that and think, it's all because we've got to create a balance, right? Yes, in today's world, we do need to have an income. You know, we need to pay for food, we need to pay for bills and whatever. I get that, okay, but like, it is not everything. It's not everything. I've been listening to a talk on YouTube. I listen to a lot of YouTube. I've had a coaching call this morning. I'm part of part of a mastermind now, which is good. A regular group meetup online. And anyway, going off track now, but various things. But I wanted to share the fact that time is limited. We're only here for a certain amount of time. So if all you ever do is focus on money, so if you're in a job that you don't like but you're scared to come out of it because of the money, this is probably for you. You can't get time back. You just cannot get time back. Time is precious. Time is everything. Like the way we feel and the way we spend that time, you know. So I would just urge you to reflect upon where you are in your life, and question, am I enjoying how I'm spending my time? And are you neglecting important areas of your life, i.e. yourself? There's been time, obviously, what am I now? 34. There's been times in my life when I've done things for money. Now isn't one of those times because of what I've been through, because of what happened in my life and what has been happening, and etc. Like, it makes you sort of awake and aware of what's more important, you know, those sorts of things. Anyway, yeah, time is really, 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 really important. Time. You can't buy it. You just can't buy it. I've in the past worked many different things, done many different. You'd think I was 90 looking at my CV, right? But what I can say from my experiences and the families that I've worked with and met, right? There's been numerous occasions where I've worked with a family. So I would be looking after their children, for example. But I'm telling you, these parents, yes, they lived in a nice house. Yes, they had quite a fair bit of money. They had no quality of life. They had no time. Their children didn't spend time with them. Even at the weekends, the children were sent off to, you know, day camps and this camp and that club and all these different things. And that's just an example, but what I'm getting at here is, yes, they had money. Yes, they had a whatever, like, do you know what I mean? But the real stuff, the real feeling stuff that they would have gotten fulfillment from, a lot of them didn't have. Like, they didn't even have time to exercise their bodies, you know. So you've got to think, well, how do I find that balance then? You know, how do I do what I love to do, or at least do something that you don't hate, you know? Finding that balance of bringing in that income, but also doing life and actually being a human being and having a variety of things going on in your life that fulfills you, because you can't get the time back. You know, when I was super sick and had a breakthrough, and ended up in hospital for like 3 weeks of my life, like, I'll tell you what, no amount of money was going to help me then, because my mental state wasn't right, and that's putting it politely. But it was definitely a lesson. It was a big lesson, all about, you know, hello, wake up, one life. Well, not one life, one life in this body. I believe we're infinite. We lived before, we're gonna live again. This is just all a part of it. But yeah, I would just urge you to come on, to take a look at your life, take a look at how you're spending that time, and really think, is that worth trading that for that? Is it worth trading the time with my kids for that? Is it worth trading the time with my partner for that? You know, how many late nights are you going to work? How many years in that job that you hate are you going to work? Or, you know, it's like, surely it's better to have a little bit less money and not have that as your focus, and really start delving into what makes you happy, and then build upon that, and then end up making an abundance of money, because actually what you're doing, you love it so much and you're so good at it that money's not even a thing anymore, you know. Let's try not to get run over. There's one on a bike. So yeah, it's funny. We walk down here, right, and there's always someone on a bike. I've got a puppy with me, as a lot of you know. I've got a little dog, little Thea. Look, she's white but she's black. Look at the state of that ass. Look at that black bum. She's been rolling in mud, and yeah, people nearly run her over all the time, but I'm not going to tie her up. She's a doggy, you know. She needs to run, she needs to be free. And she runs up to people, and some of them don't like her. It's hilarious, but what can you do? You can't chain up a dog. It's meant to be free, right? Look at her running around like a little nutter. So yeah, remember, time is precious. You can't buy time. You can't get it back. Remember what's important to you. Remember who's important to you. Remember what makes you happy. Remember to put yourself first, and remember to fill up your own cup, you know, and spend time wisely. Be aware of how you're spending your time. Okay? All right, have a good one, and I will, birds. I will do another one soon. Bye for now.